Please be seated. What a great honor and privilege it is for me to welcome you on this most glorious day. Our wonderful graduates, their families and friends, our honored guests, our faculty and staff. We are here to honor you, the 2000 graduating class of the College of St. Benedict. We welcome you to this 85th commencement. For some of us, it's a bittersweet moment. 4 years ago, when you young women were moving into this campus, so was I. And now 4 years later, off you go. I don't know what it says about my education. I guess I'm staying on. This is a moment of great pride for me and for all of us in honoring you, our graduates. Some who are here to honor you in a special way include the members of today's platform party, whom I would like to introduce at this time. On my right, I begin by introducing the Provost of the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University, Dr. Neil Thorborn. Next to Dr. Thorborn is the Sub-Prioress of the Order of the Sisters of St. Benedict, Sister Cecilia Prokash. Next to Sister Cecilia is Sharon Castle D'Agostino, the President of our Alumni Council. And to her right is the Director of Campus Ministry, Sister Mary Catherine Hollicky. On my left is today's commencement speaker, Marcia Johnson Evans, the National Executive Director of the Girl Scouts of the United States of America. Next to her is the Chair of the Board of Trustees of the College, Ann Ford Nelson. And next to Ann is the Dean of the College of St. Benedict, Dr. Rita Knazel.
I invite us to take a moment to find within us the space that welcomes the Holy One among us. God of all hope, on this day of commencement, we gather in your name. Our hearts are full and rich with emotions. A tear holds the paradox of profound joy and a quiet pensiveness as we celebrate our achievements and know that soon our feet will take us into the world in many and varied directions. We have come to the College of St. Benedict committed to our academic pursuit, only to be surprised by the ways in which you, O God, have drawn us into wisdom. Our eyes have seen the faces of the poor, the homeless, the sick, the aged, the children, and now we see you more clearly. Our ears have heard the stories of a dream held by pioneer women, women of vision, our Benedictine sisters. And we claim our voice to speak with boldness new dreams, gifting the world with renewed hope and creative imagining. Our hearts have felt the pain and confusion when death caught us by surprise, and we commit ourselves to be intentional about life. Our hands have been clenched as we entered this new place, uncertain about so much, and we have learned that opening ourselves to trust enables us to embrace friendship. Our feet at times have stumbled along the path of our journey, and yet we walk in mindfulness, attentive to the way before us, your way. You, O God, have been with us in the past. We are confident that you are present to us here and now, and will continue to draw us to yourself. May our hearts be ever-changing, ever in growth, as we seek to respond fully to your gift of life. May we welcome the tears that hold the paradox, finding blessing in their tender honesty. Hold us in our desire for your life in us, so that in all things, all ways of being, you, God, may be glorified. Amen.
Little did I know in 1955, when I put on my Brownie uniform and met with Troop 93, that I would be standing here to introduce today's commencement speaker. Marsha Johnson Evans is the National Director of the Girl Scouts of the United States of America, the largest organization for girls in the whole world. Ms. Evans assumed this position beginning in 1998, though her interest in Girl Scouting was nurtured by her parents as early as the 2nd grade. In fact, as a Girl Scout, she attained the highest rank of Girl Scouting at her time, the rank of curved bar. Marty, as she is called by her friends and colleagues, has enjoyed a remarkable career. Prior to joining the Girl Scout organization, she retired from the United States Navy after 29 years of service, attaining the rank of Rear Admiral. She continues to be a trailblazer and advocate for women and girls, and is an exemplary role model for our graduates. Her naval career is marked by successful efforts to open the full range of operational assignments for women. Widely traveled during her professional career, Marty most recently served as the superintendent of the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California, and in that capacity concurrently served as the director of the George C. Marshall European Center for Security Studies in Garmisch, Germany. Marty was also responsible for the Navy's worldwide recruiting organization from 1993 to 1995. She is a native of Illinois, but has lived in many cities, as you might suspect, including Annapolis, Maryland, where she served as the Chief of Staff of the U.S. Naval Academy, and in San Francisco, where I first met her when she was the commanding officer of the naval station at Treasure Island. Marty received her bachelor's degree from Occidental College in Los Angeles and continued her graduate education at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University, where she received her master's degree. Additionally, she studied at the National War College in Washington, D.C., and the Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island. She is a former White House Fellow and a member of Phi Beta Kappa. Marty currently works and lives in New York City with her husband Jerry, who is a retired naval jet pilot. I ask you now, please join me in welcoming Marty to the podium.
Well, thank you so much, President Lyons, family members of graduates today, distinguished guests, and most especially graduates. I am deeply honored to be here today, and I have to tell you I have looked forward to being here for almost 2 years when I received a wonderful invitation. Now, I know I follow a long line of illustrious commencement speakers, And many of them, no doubt, have illuminated graduating classes with every bit of knowledge they've stored away in their brains, and every bit of wisdom it took them years and years and years to accumulate, and every anecdote that they ever heard during their entire careers. Well, I can promise you one thing today: I won't do that. Instead, for all our sakes, I'm going to follow some advice that I received from my father, who was a Navy Chief Petty Officer. He was a man who understood the view from the trenches. It was the night before my first day on the job. I had graduated from Occidental, and then I went off for a short stint, about 4 months, of officer training in Newport, Rhode Island. And there I was, fresh out of college, just past the training program, and I was ready to start my very first day as a military instructor. So I called my dad, and I was a little nervous because I was going to have real-life students that now I was going to be teaching. And so I called him and I asked, "Dad, give me some advice." Well, true to form, he cut right to the chase, and he said, "Marty, stand tall so they can see you. Speak loud so they can hear you. And sit down so they'll like you." Well, I promise I will sit down soon enough. But before I do, I want to show you something that's important. Now, I raided our Girl Scout shop, and we have a lot of little things in our Girl Scout shop back home. And one of the things in that Girl Scout shop is a compass, and anybody who's been a Girl Scout knows exactly how to use a compass. It's one of the first tools that I learned to use way back when I was a Brownie Girl Scout, back in the dark ages before satellites had cars had those satellite positioning devices with that awfully annoying voice maybe some of you have heard. And of course, in my 29 years in the Navy, we used a lot of different kinds of navigational equipment. You know that a compass helps you determine direction, and it can tell you where north, south, east, and west, and all the points in between. Now, what you may not know is that according to Native American tradition, the 4 directions on the compass correspond to certain character traits, or the qualities that a person is seeking to attain. For example, east on the compass corresponds to strength of will, and south corresponds to self-sufficiency. West corresponds to goals and journeys in one's life, and north, that corresponds to knowledge and wisdom. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, you're about ready to take your first steps on a new pathway today. And the fine education that you've received here at the College of St. Benedict has prepared you very, very well. But you're also going to need to rely on your own internal compass, your moral or your values center, to steer you in the right direction on this mystical, magical, wonderful journey that we call life. Now, everyone has an internal compass, and some people call it their conscience, some call it their gut, some call it that little voice. And if it's properly aligned, and if we listen to it, our internal compass guides us in the right direction or towards the right choice or decision. It's when we don't listen to our internal compass that we can, and occasionally do, get into trouble. If, when you leave here today, you remember only one thing that I've said, I hope it will be this: pay attention to your internal compass and go where it points. Listen to your conscience or your values, be aware, and follow where they lead. The great thing about having an internal compass is that even if you find that you've gone down the wrong road, it will point you back in the right direction. After all, mistakes will be absolutely crucial to your learning processes and progress. Mistakes are, as James Joyce says, the portals of discovery. If you listen and follow where it leads, your internal compass will, of course, point you in many different directions during your lives. And if the Native American tradition holds true, you will glean certain qualities of character with each new direction that you travel. Now let's take a quick trip around the compass face. Now let's start with south, and by my reckoning, south is in that direction. Native American tradition says south is the direction of self-sufficiency. For many of you, this commencement ceremony today marks an important milestone in your march towards self-sufficiency. Now, I suspect many of the parents here today hope that you're fully self-sufficient and that you don't have plans to move back home. But if you cannot have true self-sufficiency without self-definition, and there's an emphasis I'm placing on the word self. In other words, don't let anyone define who you are. Now let me give you an example. I attended a graduation ceremony similar to this. The weather wasn't as beautiful as it is today. Last year at the University of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. And General Norman Schwarzkopf, the architect of the Allied victory in the Desert Storm conflict, was the commencement speaker, and he told a wonderful story about his two dogs. Now he has two dogs, one of which is a 98-pound German Shepherd, very large, commanding sort of dog. And then he also has a 6-pound, long-haired miniature dachshund. Well, which dog do you think was in charge? Well, the 98-pounder was certainly bigger and stronger and more ferocious, so it probably would follow that the 98-pound dog was the top dog, right? Well, wrong. In fact, the 6-pounder, the general said, that little short-haired or long-haired miniature dachshund, was in fact the top dog. Why was that? Well, you see, according to the general, the little dog didn't have a clue that he was little. Why would he? After all, when he looked at the other dog, he just made the assumption that he also was a 98-pound, ferocious big dog. That's in fact what was reflected back in his eyes. And my advice to all of you is to be like that dachshund. Think big. Think of yourself as the top dog. And don't listen, don't pay any attention to anyone who tells you that you're not, or tells you that you can't, or tells you that you'll never be able to do whatever. Don't let anyone else define you or define who you are. I learned this early on. In 1968, when I was graduating from college, many of my peers were burning their draft cards in protest of the United States' role in Vietnam. I happened to believe then, and I still do now, that my role as a citizen includes serving my country and serving on behalf of my country if called. I can assure you that my view was not the majority, that of the majority of my peers in 1968. But I chose to follow my own moral compass, internal compass, just as they followed theirs, and I continued along my pathway to join the Navy. I wasn't then or now going to let anyone else do my thinking for me, and I won't let anyone else but me define who I am. Let's go to the next direction on the compass, east, which corresponds to strength of will and intuition in the Native American lexicon. Now, I translate this to mean a very simple credo: do the right thing. At some point, if you haven't already found out, you're going to find that there is sometimes a difference, a huge difference, between doing things right and doing the right things. In fact, you may run into a situation where you find, as I once did, that the rules are sometimes just wrong. Case in point, when I assumed command of the naval station in 1989 in San Francisco, it was shortly before the earth shook, and literally, it shook in that horrific earthquake back in 1989. As you can imagine, we were right out in the middle of San Francisco Bay on a man-made island. It was made out of basically compacted sand and dirt. And it really shook. Water seeped up in between some of the spaces. And the whole island, which housed about 1,100 families and all kinds of Navy work, was thrown into chaos. We had power out, we had the whole water system was destroyed. And the rules in that naval station, the rules that covered the galley where everybody, all of the sailors ate, said that we had to charge non-sailors or civilians to eat in a galley. Well, that was an interesting rule, but I tell you what, after an earthquake, it didn't quite seem to apply. And so, to do the right thing, we opened the galley wide, and anybody who was on that island, whether it was a family member or somebody there rendering emergency service, was invited to come and eat. Now, I would tell you that the higher-ups called me on the phone and said, "You can't do that, you can't do that." Of course, they were 500, 1,000 miles away, didn't really appreciate the situation, but I knew the right thing was to feed the people on the island, and the cost of several $1,000s, that's what we did, but it was the right thing to do. Let's go on to the third direction on the compass face, north. Many Native Americans believe the direction of north corresponds to gaining wisdom and knowledge as well as abundance. And I speak from experience when I tell you that all of those attributes, knowledge, wisdom, and abundance, are practically guaranteed if you strive to be and to do your best. There's a verse that illuminates the concept by one of my favorite poets, Emily Dickinson. "Luck is not chance, it's toil. Fortune's expensive smile is earned." Success, in other words, is not about luck. Never underestimate the power of hard work, and always, always do your best. A good friend of mine once worked on the National Security Council when Henry Kissinger, that great American statesman, was the National Security Advisor to the President. And he tells of the story of his first couple of days on the job, and he had an assignment, was asked to prepare a report for Mr. Kissinger. And when the report was finished, he went in and presented it to Mr. Kissinger, and he looked up at my friend and said, "Is this your best work?" Well, my friend sheepishly took back the report and said, "Well, I guess I could work on it some more." So he went, spent several more days, worked on the report, and when he was finished, he returned with the revised report, once again went into Mr. Kissinger's office and put it down on his desk and said, "Here's my report." And Kissinger looked up at him again and said, "Well, is this your best work?" My friend took a deep breath and he acknowledged the fact that, well, maybe he could polish it just a little bit more. So he took it back once again, went and spent another day working on it, and went back into Kissinger's office and put the report down on Kissinger's desk. And once again, he looked up at him and said, "Is this your best work?" Well, my friend was totally exasperated at this point, and he just snapped back. He said, "Yes, it is my best work." And Kissinger looked up at him and said, "Fine, I'll read it now." This story, for me, illustrates always do your best. And remember, hard work goes a lot further than luck. You'll get to the top faster, I guarantee it, if you do the legwork. In my career in the Navy and now at the helm of Girl Scouts, my experience has been that the harder I worked, the luckier I got. Do your best, work hard, go after something, and chances are you'll get it. We tell the girls in Girl Scouts, you can do anything you put your mind to. Do your best and never give up. And now to the final direction on the compass, west. West symbolizes the journeys taken and the goals reached in Native American imagery. The sun sets in the west, completing the journey of the day. But the sun's journey is not over just because daylight fades. Of course, the sun will rise again in the east the next day, and the cycle will continue on and on. And so I see this direction, which is all about journeys and achieving goals, as connoting action. No journey can be taken and no goal can be reached without taking action. And taking action means putting your best foot forward. Life is an action word. Everything you've heard me say today is just an idea until you put it into action. Action is the forerunner to success. putting your best foot forward to take action along with doing your best, not letting others define who you are, and doing the right thing. In all of those, the emphasis is on action. Actions which, when applied to a goal, will inevitably result in success. And having one, two, or even a track record of successes under one's belt prepares you truly to achieve great things. I take this to heart in my capacity as Executive Director of the Girl Scouts, the world's preeminent organization directed solely to girls. In everything I do, every decision I make, every person I encounter in a day, I try to put my best foot forward, and that's action, action that precedes success. Well, we know something about success in Girl Scouting, but before I talk about that, I just want to take a quick poll, a little raise of hands. How many of you out there at some time in your life were either a Brownie Girl Scout or a junior or a cadet or a senior or even a Daisy Girl Scout? How many Girl Scouts out there? Oh, a lot of hands. I knew that was going to be the case. Well, you know you're in good company. First of all, you're joining a group of about 40 million Girl Scout alumni, so it's a large group, and you'll meet many successful women, and chances are they too were Girl Scouts. And those of you who didn't raise your hand, who didn't have the opportunity to be a Girl Scout, you don't have anything to worry about, because everything I've said to this thus far is really a crash course in Girl Scouting 101. So, by the power vested in me as the National Executive Director, I'm going to make all of you who weren't Girl Scouts honorary Girl Scouts for the day. And so now you too are going to be fully successful as adults. I know I promised at the beginning of my address I would sit down relatively quickly, and I soon will sit down, but I want to leave you with one final thought, and it's really a challenge. The challenge today is for you, before you leave here, to decide which direction you will take as you walk into your future. Decide which direction your internal compass is going to lead you. Will you travel east in the direction of intuition and doing the right thing, or south towards self-sufficiency and not allowing others define who you are? Or perhaps north, the path towards wisdom and knowledge by which you'll always do your best, or west, putting your best foot forward as you journey towards your goals, as you take that action. Well, have you decided? Is that your final answer? Good. Well, unlike some of your college tests, there is no wrong answer. Any direction you decide on that compass face will lead you forward, but you have to rely on your own internal compass and listen to it and follow where it leads. And you will travel in every direction sooner or later on your path, on your journey to life. And so I would like to leave you with this wish. It's a very traditional Navy send-off. We use it when shipmates move on. We use it when we christen ships and a ship gets underway for the first time. And as you embark on your exciting adventure, may I say to you that I hope each of you has fair winds and following seas for the rest of your life. Congratulations, graduates, and good luck. Thank you.
Marty, there are a lot of us who use compasses to follow a course that's already been plotted. But in your lifetime thus far, you have charted courses not yet known by anyone. And it is for that reason that I ask you if you would mind joining me here next to the podium. The President's Medal is given to persons who have distinguished themselves through individual achievement and recognizes the talents, efforts, and dedication required to meet new challenges. It is bestowed upon nationally known and respected individuals in recognition of outstanding achievement. The award symbolizes the college's dedication to the pursuit of excellence and the attainment of personal triumphs. Given that, I would like to read you the following citation. For your success in increasing leadership opportunities for women during your distinguished naval career, for your commitment to the growth and development of girls as Executive Director of the Girl Scouts of the United States of America, for your courage, persistence, and stamina in meeting new professional challenges, the President's Medal is presented to Marcia Johnson Evans this 20th day of May in the year 2000. I am very pleased to introduce our next speaker, who has been chosen by our honorees today, her peers, the graduating class. Our speaker is Sarah Olson. A native of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Sarah is a theology major, a philosophy minor, with a special theater concentration. She has been very active in theater and in our costume studio, participating in several productions at the college. Among them, Ascension Day, Ducks and Lovers, The Visit, The Birds, and Fiddler on the Roof. Sarah has achieved much during her years with us: an excellent academic record, a global educational experience in South Africa, recognition by her peers as one of this year's 10 students who make a difference at the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. Sarah was an opinions columnist for the St. John's student newspaper, The Record. She served as a member of Student Advocates Against Sexual Violence and as a co-leader of Alternative Spring Break service trip to New York City. This summer, Sarah will be working at a Lutheran camp in southern Colorado, and this fall will begin a year-long commitment to serve at a shelter for homeless teenagers in Denver, Colorado. Please join me in welcoming our graduate, Sarah Olson.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am absolutely overwhelmed, and congratulations, and thank you to everybody who's here to support us. I had a hard time writing the speech. I wanted it to be somehow meaningful to each person who is gathered here, to each one of the diverse graduates of our class. I realized that the only option was the ancient tradition of storytelling, where imagination knows no bounds. The speech will be rooted in an Iroquois creation myth. I invite you to put yourself in this woman's place, that we might journey through the story together. In the beginning, there was only sky. In the sky was an enormous tree with deep, tangled roots and dancing branches. One of the women who lived in the sky would spend her days leaning against the tree as it taught her. The tree spent years teaching the woman as she listened to the sap pulse through its veins. One day, she fell asleep under the tree and dreamt that she would push the tree over and expose its roots. She didn't understand the dream, but she trusted the voice of this old, wise tree. And she knew that we must do what we dream in order to make it true. So she tried to push the tree over, and she tried to pull the tree over, but she couldn't do it by herself. So she asked the other sky people to help her pull over the tree. And though they didn't understand why, they understood the power of the voice that calls. As they pulled the tree over, the tree's roots pulled out of the ground, and they realized there was a great hole in the sky. The woman looked into the hole and saw a great abyss underneath the sky with glittering and moving water far below. She was so intrigued by the water and the emptiness of the world beneath the sky that she leaned further and further over the hole to gaze into it. She grabbed onto one of the roots as she leaned, but the root snapped and the emptiness pulled her into the hole. The woman fell for a long time with the root grasped in her hand, until a group of loons flew up beside her in order to ease her landing and carried her onto the back of a large sea turtle. As the woman sat on the back of this strong turtle, she felt the sense that she was where she needed to be, but she didn't know why. Until a beaver swam up next to the turtle with a clump of dirt in his hands. The woman took the earth from the beaver that the beaver had retrieved from the sea floor and put it on the back of the turtle, along with the root that she still held in her hand from the wisdom tree. And then she began to dance. She danced on the root and the earth and the turtle's shell, and as she danced, the earth was created. My sisters, today as we graduate, we are in the moment just before we fall into the great hole in the sky. We are still holding on to the tree of the school while we peer into the depths of the future that we don't understand. Some of us with great courage and excitement will dive into the hole with full confidence, while others of us will grasp the edge of the hole until our fingers weaken and gravity forces us into the real world. Whatever the case, the tree of this place has taught us and challenged us and led us. Our times at these schools has been one like the woman sitting under the tree, a time where we have, as Saint Benedict himself said, listened carefully with the ears of our hearts. We have been urged by faculty, staff, and monastics to ask questions that point us to the truth of who we are and where we are called to be. And like the woman who could not pull the tree over by herself, we could not and cannot live our dreams alone. Our joint campuses have formed a place of interdependence that has taught us the importance of community. And the unique gift of this place is the circle of women that we have laughed with and lived with, who have made our listening and searching a time of joy. And now, as we have spent 4 years listening and learning, we are about to fall into the unknown of the future. But we have the root of our education grasped in our hands. Like the Sky Woman, we only have the trust of those voices we have heard to give us courage to jump. And like the Sky Woman, we might float around in the abyss of the future for a while, but the Sky Woman found her turtle, and so will we. The world is in desperate need of women who trust the voices that formed them and are not afraid to take the courageous step to dance on the backs of their turtle. We must, as educated women, take this call and dance firmly and boldly and freely within the world. Each of us will land on different turtles' backs, and we will each dance our own brilliant and unique dances. But the root of this place will be handed to you as you walk across the stage, a root of a proud and old tree that will forever remind you of the voices you have heard and your call to be women of creation. So, my friends, jump, and may you find your turtle.
Thank you, Sarah. It is now my pleasure to invite to the podium the Provost, Dr. Neil Thorburn, to come forward for the conferral of degrees.
Today's program lists 451 candidates for the baccalaureate degree. The College of St. Benedict is happy to recognize these degree candidates. It is understood that the appropriate degrees are earned by the candidates who successfully complete all requirements for that degree by the end of the scholastic year. Will the candidates for the degrees please rise? Dr. Mary Lyons, President of the College of St. Benedict, these students are now presented to you for conferral of the appropriate degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon those candidates whose names appear in the commencement program the appropriate Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees indicated, with all the attendant rights and privileges of which the degrees to be given to them shall be forever the testimony. Now I ask Dr. Rita Knazel, Dean of the College, to read the names of our candidates for the degrees.
May I ask the audience to please withhold your applause until all candidates have received their degrees. Thank you. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with honors. Jennifer Joy Anderson, cum laude, Liberal Studies, Buffalo Lake. Jessica Irene Arnold, cum laude, Elementary Education, New Hope. Tanya Marie Ashfeld, cum laude, Political Science, Cold Spring. Kara Marie Bainan, magna cum laude, Psychology, Fargo, North Dakota. Britt Marie Baki, magna cum laude, Communication and Music, Anoka. Margot Michelle Bassett, cum laude, Communication, Cannon Falls. Jill Emily Beyer, cum laude, Communication, Utica. Molly McGinty Borg, magna cum laude, Management in Spanish, Edina. Barbara Lorraine Bowe, cum laude, Elementary Education, Nassau, Bahamas. Laura Michelle Bruzik, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, Chemistry, New Prague. Laura Olivia Carlson, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, Biology, Brooklyn Park. Mamie Elizabeth Casey, cum laude, Elementary Education, Anaconda, Montana. Megan Lee Cavanagh, magna cum laude, Psychology, St. Cloud. Colleen Marie Coleman, magna cum laude, Social Science, St. Paul. Megan Marie Conlon, magna cum laude, Music, St. Paul. Sherry Ann Kudrun, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, English and Spanish, Marshall. Sarah Marie Deli, magna cum laude, Biology, Moose Lake. Brenda Renee Dukersheim, magna cum laude, Distinction in English, Glen Flora, Wisconsin. Elizabeth Marie Dinan, cum laude, Management, Maplewood. Jody K. Fernholtz, magna cum laude, Management, Madison. Melissa Marie Grange, magna cum laude, English, Baxter. Sarah Marie Hageman, magna cum laude, Accounting, Worthington. Beth Ellen Hansen, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, Political Science, St. Joseph. Victoria Ann Hart, magna cum laude, Dietetics, Rushford. Ryan Marie Hennis, magna cum laude, Biology, Duluth. Lisa Marie Hess, egregia cum laude, Theology, Edina. Becky Ann Higgins, cum laude, French, River Falls, Wisconsin. Beth Victoria Holbrook, magna cum laude, Natural Science, Nisswa. Amber Olson Holmgren, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, Natural Science, Wilmer. Desiree Nicole Herkus, magna cum laude, German, Ely. Melissa Sue Ilias, magna cum laude, Biology, Sauk Center. Janelle Ann Juneman, magna cum laude, English, Worthington. Catherine Jean Kerwald, cum laude, English, New Prague. Amanda Ray Keller, magna cum laude, Natural Science, Fargo, North Dakota. Tricia Ann Kelly, magna cum laude, Biology, Prior Lake. Tara Diane Kill, cum laude, Communication, Morris. Callista Marie Cruz, magna cum laude, Philosophy, Mankato. Jessica Ann Cubis, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, English, Saginaw. Margaret Mary Kuhlenkamp, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, Communication in English, Woodbury. Patricia Deanne Larson, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in history, Sugar Creek, Missouri. Amy Therese Liba, cum laude, social work, New Brighton. Sherry Lynn Lundgren, magna cum laude, English and Peace Studies, Eagle Bend. Amy Jeanette Luzum, cum laude, Chemistry, Benson. Laura Ann McManus, cum laude, Chemistry, Sunfish Lake. Heather Faye Mace, cum laude, Social Science, Hastings. Sabrina Marie Marthaler, magna cum laude, Management, Sauk Center. Deirdre Kayonema Carroll, cum laude, Distinction in Liberal Studies, St. Paul. Heather Jo Meyerhofer, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in communication, Belgrade. Melissa Jean Menke, magna cum laude, psychology, Shoreview. Julie Christine Mary, magna cum laude, elementary education, St. Paul. Valerie Jane Meyer, magna cum laude, biology, Tileman. Monica Marie Milbert, magna cum laude, economics, Cold Spring. Lisa Catherine New, cum laude, theology, Little Falls. Catherine Marie Neisinger, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in English, Nevis. Angela Marie O'Connor, cum laude, communication in Spanish, Faribault. Jessica Susan Odenthal, summa cum laude, chemistry, New Prague. Gina Marie Orth, cum laude, elementary education, Apple Valley. Erin Amy Osterholm, magna cum laude, biology, Minneapolis. Catherine Mary Peters, magna cum laude, accounting, Buffalo. Hope Teresa Phillips, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in biology, Duluth. Carrie Anna Phillips, magna cum laude, distinction in English, Clearwater. Rebecca Edith Riebestein, cum laude, all college honors, distinction in political science, Browerville. Courtney Nicole Remish, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in computer science, Northfield. Rachel Marie Reuter, cum laude, biology, Hastings. Kelly Justine Rogers, magna cum laude, psychology, Alexandria. Sarah Marie Ryan, cum laude, communication, South St. Paul. Deborah Elizabeth Sad, magna cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, all college honors, distinction in theater, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Tracy Flanagan Sacre, magna cum laude, social work, St. Cloud. Jolynn Marie Schlichting, magna cum laude, psychology, St. Cloud. Kim Lee Schulzenberg, summa cum laude, natural science, Sauk Center. Amy Catherine Sevchek, magna cum laude, political science, Prior Lake. Melanie Ann Cheesley, magna cum laude, mathematics, Sleepy Eye. Alexandra Marie Smith, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, music, Eden Prairie. Erin Marie Steinbach Welters, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in psychology, Redwood Falls. Maxine Valerie Storr, magna cum laude, communication, New Providence, Bahamas. Daphne Lorraine Stiles, magna cum laude, management, Nassau, Bahamas. Allison Maureen Surdeau, cum laude, biology, St. Paul. Kelly Ann Tuzna, cum laude, communication, Lakeville. Jennifer Lee Villarose, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in communication and mathematics, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Leah Marie Wienendahl, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in communication, Morris. Anne Louise Wells, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in English, music, Omaha, Nebraska. Sarah Michelle Welter, cum laude, psychology, Little Falls. Deborah Marie Wentz, egregia cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, chemistry, Chatfield. Melissa Julie Westerberg, cum laude, all college honors, distinction in Spanish, mathematics, Blaine. Suzanne Grace Belford Wetzel, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in elementary education, Bismarck, North Dakota. Rachel Marie Wick, magna cum laude, philosophy, Columbus, Nebraska. Sarah K. Wilhelmy, summa cum laude, accounting, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Jennifer K. Winkles, cum laude, theater, Granite Falls. Jessica Christine Zempel, magna cum laude, management, St. Louis Park. Emily Jean Zins, cum laude, natural science, Golden Valley. Elizabeth Michelle Zurich Baudry, magna cum laude, management, Princeton. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science with honors. Kristen Ann Blummer, summa cum laude, nursing, St. Cloud. Tanya Marie Lafore, magna cum laude, nursing, Forreston. Christine K. Lauer, magna cum laude, nursing, Cold Spring. Alexis Jean Rupp, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, nursing, St. Cloud. Erin Elizabeth Schwalbach, cum laude, nursing, River Falls, Wisconsin. Sarah Cullen Weiberg, summa cum laude, Delta Epsilon Sigma, nursing, St. Paul. Laura Ellen Wendorf, magna cum laude, nursing, Fulda. Catherine Ann Wolf, summa cum laude, nursing, Foley. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Gretchen Ray Adelman, accounting, Farmington. Adrian Libby Elstedt, elementary education, Lino Lakes. Elizabeth Holm Ammon, biology, Monroe, Louisiana. Jennifer Nicole Anderson, art, Wilmer. Mary Elizabeth Anderson, accounting and management, St. Cloud. Valerie Jean Anderson, psychology, Zimmerman. Angela May Armstrong, social science, Orinoco. Kiyoko Asano, history, Tokyo, Japan. Melissa Ann Ashfeld, Political Science, Cold Spring. Julie Michelle Atkins, Communication, Maple Grove. Natasha M. Austin, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Elizabeth Marie Bachman, Management, St. Cloud. Nicole Ann Bowerly, Natural Science, Sauk Rapids. Jennifer Mary Beach, Peace Studies, Slayton. Angela Marie Belfai, Sociology, New Prague. Catherine Louise Bendewald, Elementary Education, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Melissa May Bigowet, Management, Arlington. Bobby Rochelle Birkey, Management, Evansville. Jennifer Marie Blazer, Dietetics, Austin. Susan Marie Blodgett, English and Political Science, Bloomington. Allison Michelle Blood, Political Science, Mound. Janae Christina Bonin, French and Management, Minnetonka. Amy Elise Bowen, Communication and English, Hermantown. Sina Marie Bradley, Social Work, Ramsey. Angela Tracy Brainco, Communication, Elk River. Jessica Ann Brandt, Psychology, Burnsville. Michelle Marie Brzezinski, Distinction in Communication and Biology, Bloomington. Carrie Marie Brisboy, Elementary Education, Fridley. Sarah Marie Brouillard, Political Science, Robbinsdale. Sarah Courtney Brown, Art, Wadena. Anne Catherine Brewston, English, Roseville. Molly Marie Budzine, Management, St. Paul. Catherine Mary Biskin, Social Work, Jordan. Jamie Ann Burbidge, Political Science, West Fargo, North Dakota. Amber Marie Burlingame, Accounting, Princeton. Sonia Monique Cambridge, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Julie Ann Carba, Economics, Ellensburg, Washington. Erin O'Connell Carleen, Liberal Studies, Hudson, Wisconsin. Anne Kathleen Carlin, Political Science, Lino Lakes. Brooke Elaine Carlson, Biology, Alexandria. Catherine Marie Cherney, Communication, Maplewood. Jessica Joel Chalupsky, Psychology, Silver Lake, Glencoe. Vanessa T. Charlton, Psychology, Nassau, Bahamas. Stephanie Ann Chaika, Management, Avon. Angela Christine Coffey, English, Minneapolis. Kathleen Mary Comer, Management, Minnetonka. Emily Jordan Cronk, Elementary Education, Minnetonka. Jennifer Ann Crum, Communication, Wenatchee, Washington. Mary Jane Dahl, Management, Northfield. Nancy Lynn Dahlheimer, Elementary Education, Dayton. Cami Teresa Davis, Psychology, West St. Paul. Lisa Renee DeLuny, Peace Studies, Minneapolis. Alame Dean, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Stacy Marie Deary, Individualize, Owen, Wisconsin. Catherine Anastasia Dekarsky, Liberal Studies, Delano. Kathleen Marie Delmont, Management, Mendota Heights. Brooke Erin Denny, Nutrition, Avon. Kelly Ann Deutsch, Natural Science, Jordan. Christine Denise Devereaux, Accounting, Cottonwood. Sarah Elizabeth Devereaux, Psychology, Slayton. Rebecca Marie Dick, Management, Bram. Catherine Ann Diedrich, Psychology, St. Joseph. Jill Marie Diem, Music, Plymouth. Faye Salk Donahue, Liberal Studies, St. Cloud. Kim Monique Douglas, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Sarah Teresa Drew, French, Fargo, North Dakota. Amber Christine Dryden, Liberal Studies, St. Joseph. Michelle Marie Edwins, Chemistry, Inver Grove Heights. Erica Lynn Eink, Management, Becker. Anna Maria Emanuel, Biology, Hibbing. Michelle Lee Engblom, Natural Science, Princeton. Angela Mary Erickson, Management, Cottage Grove. Sarah Jean Erickson, Psychology, Monroe, Wisconsin. Brianne Linda Erpelding, Elementary Education, Little Falls. Jennifer Lynn Evans, Spanish and Communication, St. Paul. Maliha Kahala Evian, Social Work, Hayfield. Judith Erica Fairclough, Accounting, Nassau, Bahamas. Jennifer Diane Farnsworth, Management, Plymouth. Anne Marie Farrell, Accounting, Billings, Montana. Sarah Ann Farringer, Social Work, Columbus, Nebraska. Jessica Gloria Fina, Management, Hibbing. Rachel Antishka Ferguson, Elementary Education, Nassau, Bahamas. Elaine Marie Fernandez, Biology, Mumbai, India. Summer Ann Ferry, Accounting, Maple Lake. Patricia Lorraine French, Elementary Education, Nassau, Bahamas. Sarah Marie Flegel, Psychology, Bird Island. Sarah Marie Flycheck, Art Education, Rochester. Megan Marie Flynn, Elementary Education, Mendota Heights. Andrea Nicole Foley, Peace Studies, Omaha, Nebraska. Lisa Ann Foley, Communication and Psychology, Coon Rapids. Colleen Ann Fosbury, Elementary Education, Deep Haven. Karen Anna Fossum, Biology and Chemistry, Rockford. Margaret Ann Fox, Sociology, Redwood Falls. Catherine Ann Friedrich, Psychology, St. Cloud. Deborah Louise Garland, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Lori Ann Generex, Physics, Alberta. Jennifer Jean Giefer, Accounting, Nicollet. Rebecca Catherine Goldaddy, Social Work, Fergus Falls. Megan Mary Goodman, Political Science, Stillwater. Heidi Ann Grachek, Communication, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Lisa Marie Grief, Psychology, Des Moines, Iowa. Michelle Renee Greikus, Distinction in Social Work, Waconda, Illinois. Celia Mary Hamilton, English, Sioux City, Iowa. Alicia K. Harkus, Accounting, Champlin. Amy Sue Hartman, Communication, Shakopee. Nicole Marie Hatfield, Psychology, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Amanda Louise Hawley, Management, Duluth. Angelina Jean Hayes, Psychology in Spanish, Avon. Joelle Ann Hadeen, Management, Duluth. Elizabeth Rose Hines, Biology and Natural Science, Red Wing. Jacqueline Marie Heinzelman, Biology, Alberta. Jennifer Lee Hemish, Psychology, Cold Spring. Danielle Ray Heron, Psychology, Lakeville. Amy Jean Herzog, Sociology, Freeport. Sarah Marie Hicks, Social Work, North Mankato. Nicole Angela Hickel, Communication, Hinckley. Anna Elizabeth Heeb, Psychology, Duluth. Katie Lee Hineker, Communication, Kasota. Mary Catherine Hawkinson, English, Avon. Carrie Lynn Hawley, Elementary Education, Roseville. Catherine Michelle Honer, Peace Studies and Psychology, Walker. Catherine Mary Hopkins, Natural Science, St. Paul. Megan Beth Horble, Psychology, Andover. Jennifer Marie Rea, Psychology, Ham Lake. Julie Ann Illy, Natural Science, Cottage Grove. Janelle Joy Johnson, Communication, Golden Valley. Kathleen Ann Johnson, Management, Burnsville. Selena A. Johnson Sweeting, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Monique C. Joseph, Economics, San Jose, Costa Rica. Deanne C. H. Kautzman, Theology, Mandan, North Dakota. Christina Emily Kelly, Psychology, Chanhassen. Melissa Ann Kemper, Psychology, Melrose. Jessica Ann Kern, Natural Science, Brooklyn Park. Teresa Marie Carras, Theology, Omaha, Nebraska. Destiny Marie Kessel, Psychology, Bismarck, North Dakota. Kyung Suk Kim, Theology, St. Joseph. Kathy Lee Jennis, Communication, Avon. Stacy Ann Cluck, Communication, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Nicole Nadine Kluzak, English, Lake Crystal. Deanne J. Neville, History and Political Science, Waite Park. Catherine Ann Knutson, Political Science, St. Cloud. Kimberly Marie Kanutila, Elementary Education and Music, Detroit Lakes. Elizabeth Marina Kunst, Political Science, Big Lake. Kelly Jean Kufstad, Management, Finland. Julie Ann Korf, Elementary Education, Piers. Georgia Victoria Kraft, Natural Science, Nassau, Bahamas. Melissa Mary Kramers, Psychology, Avon. Jennifer Johanna Krupp, Philosophy, Council Bluffs, Iowa. Jennifer Rose Kieber, Political Science, Park Rapids. Katie Marie Peterson Keekley, Management, Watkins. Amy Marie Kulas, Elementary Education, Brooklyn Park. Kathleen Ann Kurtz, Elementary Education, White Bear Lake. Andrina Faye LaBelle, Management, Stillwater. Elizabeth Joyce Lavoie, Elementary Education, Long Prairie. Jennifer Ann Marie Ladd, Elementary Education, Rockford. Christina Dawn Landard, Dietetics, Apple Valley. Carolyn Christina Lang, Art, Ames, Iowa. Stacy Ann Langer, Management, Piers. Amy Marie Larson, Management, Herman. Shannon Elizabeth Lawler, Elementary Education, Bel Air, Maryland. Christina Teresa Lee, Communication, Bloomington. Jennifer M. Leonard, Music, Plymouth. Suzanne Eileen Lease, Liberal Studies, Clive, Iowa. Carrie Jo Lingle, Psychology, St. Joseph. Nancy Jean Liss, Peace Studies, Maple Grove. Erica Christine Litschke, Social Work, Cannon Falls. Hillary Claire Lukachik, Management, International Falls. Amy Ann Ludwig, Management, Brooklyn Park. Leah Mackenzie Lundgren, Psychology, Laverne. Janet Maria Lundy, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Katrina Noel Lusty, Management, Maple Grove. Robin Elizabeth Magulski, Theology, Wausau, Wisconsin. Joy Elizabeth Calloway Manlove, Liberal Studies, Eden Prairie. Molly May Mark, Elementary Education, St. Cloud. Elizabeth Clarissa Marsh, English, Duluth. Courtney Aaron Marsh, Elementary Education, Eden Prairie. Kelly Ann Martin, Liberal Studies, Appleton, Wisconsin. Lucinda Eleanor Maycock Roll, Accounting, Nassau, Bahamas. Marnie Elizabeth McDougall, Psychology, Andover. Erin Elizabeth McEllistrom, Sociology, St. Paul. Megan Elliott McNair, Liberal Studies, Kenai, Alaska. Kyson Marcia McPhee, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Jody Marie Mihessen, Art and Communication, Alexandria. Christy Marie Meyer, Dietetics, Sauk Center. Sarah Melissa Meixner, Biology, Northfield. Colleen May Mensing, Biology, Shakopee. Sarah Jane Murden, Biology, Avon. Erin Elizabeth Miller, Liberal Studies, Duluth. Christine Jensen Mitchell, Management and Spanish, Chisago City. Kay Sarah Mitchell, Psychology, White Bear Lake. Mara Marie Mose, Economics, Melrose. Angela Elizabeth Moline, Psychology, Coon Rapids. Simone A. Morris Roll, Individualized, Nassau, Bahamas. Sarah Ann Morrison, English and Political Science, Fargo, North Dakota. Suzanne Tully Mulcahy, Biology, Edina. Heather Ann Mushard, Elementary Education, Greenwood. Jacqueline Micklewhite, Individualized, Nassau, Bahamas. Naomi Nakada, Liberal Studies, Tokyo, Japan. Jamie Ann Nelson, Political Science, Baxter. Kimberly Ann Newman, Individualized, Becker. Hung Quinn Win, Chemistry, Fridley. Katie June Niehaus, Psychology, Richmond. Jennifer Lynn Nielsen, Computer Science, Maple Grove. Heather Jean Nemi, Dietetics, Grand Rapids. Emily Marie Nitti, Elementary Education, Winona. Bridget Linehan Nuring, Communication, Cold Spring. Amy D. O'Brien, Psychology, Norwalk, Iowa. Allison Dale Oldenburg, English, Jordan. Jill Catherine Olson, Liberal Studies, St. Louis Park. Catherine Ann Olson, Communication, Eden Prairie. Sarah K. Olson, Theology, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Sarah Jo Oman, Social Work, Sartell. Tiffany Jean Orlowski, English, St. Paul. Marilyn Carol Ospina, Psychology, Bloomington. Roger Alton, Accounting, Nassau, Bahamas. Sarah Catherine Pangirl, Psychology, Wayzata. Anne Catherine Panion, Biology, Maplewood. Jill Marie Paquette, Liberal Studies, Golden Valley. Michelle Pearson Hanlon, Management, NASA, Bahamas. Angela Lynn Pepin, Sociology and Spanish, Elk River. Emily Jane Percoco, Management, Avon. Heather Marie Peterson, Sociology, Elk River. Molly Jean Popowski, Management, Sartell. Stacy Marie Poulter, Communication, Groton, Massachusetts. Kathleen Therese Powers, Elementary Education, Cold Spring. Trista Jamie Quast, Communication, Buffalo. Roberta Jean Rabine, Management, White Bear Lake. Rebecca Elizabeth Ryasich, Social Work, St. Cloud. Leah Lynn Ramthan, Art, Buffalo. Kimberly Ann Reinweller, Psychology, St. Cloud. Anna Marie Rao, Communication, Brainerd. Jana Raquel Ray, Communication and Spanish, Pueblo West, Colorado. Carrie Marie Recker, Art and Biology, Donnelly. Tricia Lee Remus, Theater, Zimmerman. Sally Ann Raring, Communication, New Munich. Andrea Joy Rolla, Elementary Education, Fargo, North Dakota. And Alyssa Margaret Rosine, Liberal Studies, Duluth. Jessica Roseanne Rosenberg, Natural Science and Political Science, Bloomington. Jocelyn Ray Rossman, Psychology, Cold Spring. Sarah M. Routson, Political Science, Delano. Rachel Ann Rudine, Sociology, Cottage Grove. Shantae Acacia Ruland, Liberal Studies, Spider. Jamie Inez Reimer, Communication, Hastings. Edith Lorraine Rinda, Management, Montgomery. Jean Marie Sacre, Elementary Education, Melrose. Judith Hobita Salcido, Psychology, Eagle Bend. Chantel Tanique Saunders, Individualized, New Providence, Bahamas. Kristen Marie Sawyer, Communication, Battle Lake. Christy Marie Schaefer, Mathematics, Minneapolis. Stephanie Ann Sheeman, Management, Foley. Heather Lee Schmidt, Accounting, Paynesville. Nicole Renee Schmucker, Political Science, Cold Spring. Erica Lee Schutt, Chemistry, Prior Lake. Lacey Marie Schroden, Biology, St. Cloud. Mary Elizabeth Schrepfer, Accounting, Cottage Grove. Wendy Marie Schug, Elementary Education, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Elaine Marie Schumacher, Communication, Carroll, Iowa. Catherine Elizabeth Schweitzer, French, Stillwater. Jamie Lynn Scott, Dietetics, Lake Lillian. Marie Margaret Seiler, Management, Minneapolis. Brandy Ann Sen, Psychology, Superior, Wisconsin. Amy Catherine Sevchek, Political Science, Prior Lake. Carmile Darlene Seymour, Accounting, Nassau, Bahamas. Erin Therese Shaughnessy, Elementary Education, Worthington. Garnell Raquel Shepard, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Catherine Ann Sherman, Natural Science, Grand Rapids. Melissa Louise Sherman, Biology, Cannon Falls. Heather Ann Siggins, History, Vancouver, Washington. Katie Jane Skilling, Psychology, Algona, Iowa. Elizabeth Scowrow, History, Boise, Idaho. Heather Louise Slee, English, St. Joseph. Misty Lee Smoot, Elementary Education, Cottage Grove. Jeannie Tui Subsinski, Humanities, St. Cloud. Elizabeth Ann Sorensen, Liberal Studies, Egan. Sarah Ann Splice, English, Minneapolis. Krista Lynn Stodder, Elementary Education, Olivia. Carla Ann Staffa, Social Science, Falcon Heights. Teresa Arlene Stang, Social Work, Belgrade. Jennifer Ann Staffenecker, Social Work, Sauk Rapids. Kimberly Jean Stika, Computer Science, New Prague. Adrian Michelle Kent Storr, Liberal Studies, Anchorage, Alaska. Jody Lynn Stevie, Liberal Studies, St. Joseph. Mara Kathleen Sullivan, Peace Studies, Chicago, Illinois. Heidi Joel Sunderman, Elementary Education, Elk River. Amy Marie Swanson, Elementary Education, Cottage Grove. Kelly Ann Sweeney, Communication, White Bear Lake. Alicia Jane Swenson, Communication, Rapid City, South Dakota. Ampusam Simonette, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Tomoko Tagawa, Peace Studies, Chiba City, Japan. Jennifer Ann Tasted, Communication, Twin Valley. Nancy Melissa Taylor, Management, Maple Plain. Alyssa Ann Tenney, Elementary Education, Buffalo. Michelle Lynn Terry, Music and Political Science, Wyoming. Kimberly Soon Perez, Communication, Chaska. Tony Lee Thompson, Sociology, Avon. Angelica Rose Tom, Sociology, Billings, Montana. Sarah Ann Triple, Social Work, St. Paul. Michelle Ann Tupy, Communication, New Prague. Allison Lee Underthun, English, Duluth. Billy Jean Van Knight, Liberal Studies, Maplewood. Celine Joy Vanderkellen, Social Work, St. Paul. Marie Lynn Weist, Vander Weist, Elementary Education, Rice. Lisa Ann Voigt, Liberal Studies, Maple Grove. Karen Jana Voller, English, Duluth. Brenna Joyce Walker, Psychology, West Fargo, North Dakota. Esperanza Maria Wallander, English, Minneapolis. Lori Jean Warner, Communication, Lakeville. Margaret Mary Weber, Liberal Studies, Paynesville. Shannon Michelle Welch, Spanish, Plymouth. Mary Claire Welly, Accounting, Albany. Elizabeth Ann Welter, Psychology, Des Moines, Iowa. Jessica Jean Wendelgas, Communication, Huron, South Dakota. Marie Nina Weikenheiser, Biology, Strasburg, North Dakota. Christina Marie Wingate, Social Work, Melrose. Susan Michelle Winterfeld, Psychology, Isanti. Kelly Jo Wineski, Accounting, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Makiko Yamamoto, Biology, Hiroshima, Japan. Katie Rose Yo, Communication, Sunbird. Susanna Damaris Yeomans, Art, Red Wing. Christine Marie Yamian, Elementary Education, Chaska. Patricia Kathleen Ziegler, Psychology, Burnsville. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Dawn Mae Anderson, Nursing, St. Cloud. Carrie Rose Atkinson, Nursing, Sartell. Jill Suzanne Bartish, Nursing, Richfield. Jolene K. Bendix, Nursing, Echo. Deborah Jo Christian, Nursing, Le Center. Michaela Sue Kors, Nursing, Alexandria. Kathy Jo De Leon, Nursing, Stillwater. Tracy Lee Deering, Nursing, Maple Lake. Lee DiGiovanni, Nursing, Sartell. Kristen Louise Didier, Nursing, Forreston. Alicia Ann Folk, Nursing, Sioux City, Iowa. Rebecca Devon Harrigan, Nursing, Malacca. Naomi Ellis Johnson, Nursing, St. Cloud. Anne Marie Josephson, Nursing, Minneapolis. Suzanne Sarah Kelly, Nursing, St. Cloud. Tricia Marie Kubish, Nursing, New Prague. Mindy Carlene Langer, Nursing, Rogers. Katie Beth Larkin, Nursing, Hibbing. Kristen Marie Larson, Nursing, Marine. Lavon Mary Letha, Nursing, St. Cloud. Pamela Jean Major, Nursing, Maple Grove. Michelle Lee Memkin, Nursing, Sauk Rapids. Shannon Melise Schmidt, Nursing, Stewart. Christy Nicole Merton, Nursing, St. Cloud. Angela Lynn Miller, Nursing, St. Joseph. Erin Marie Moe, Nursing and German, Wilmer. Katie Melissa Morin, Nursing, Piers. Dawn Marie Mossbrucker, Nursing, Mandan, North Dakota. Stacy Ann Otto, Nursing, Alexandria. Amy Jane Funenstein, Nursing, St. Joseph. Karen Marie Rocco, Nursing, Evans, Georgia. Denise Marie Ross, Nursing, St. Stephen. Jessica Elizabeth Schmall, Nursing, Olivia. Chrissy Barbara Stile, Nursing, Cold Spring. Jessica Lee Train, Nursing, Hastings. Melanie Vanessa Yavello, Nursing, Burnsville. Please join me in giving our graduates a round of applause.
We still have a few more important things to do, although I must admit we just finished the most important thing of all today. I want to welcome the class of 2000 to the Alumni Association. And it is now my privilege to introduce to you an alumna who is the president of the College of St. Benedict Alumni Council, Sharon D'Agostino, who graduated in 1985 with a degree in chemistry and is now a successful lobbyist for a pharmaceutical company. She's remained very connected to the college ever since she graduated, but particularly now in her capacity as the president of the council. In addition to that, Sharon remains active in her own home parish and in many other organizations, and resides in the Twin Cities with her husband and 3 sons, the oldest of whom is 5 years old. Let me introduce to you now Sharon D'Agostino.
Thank you all, and most importantly, congratulations to all of you. What a tough act to follow. I am honored to stand before you today to welcome you as alumni of the College of St. Benedict. As president of the College of St. Benedict Alumni Association, I invite you to get involved in our programming. We have 5 regional chapters: Washington, D.C., Chicago, the Twin Cities, Central Minnesota, and Duluth. In addition, we offer programming in numerous other geographic areas across the United States. The events range from community service opportunities, career networking, sporting events, and maybe most important, social functions in general. So as you get settled, please keep us in mind. Get on the internet, send us your new address so we can keep you informed of these wonderful events. It's a great opportunity to rekindle friendships and to meet other young women who have recently graduated and women from back into the, actually graduates of the class of 1940. We also do numerous joint programming with St. John's University. A demographer recently said that this generation is likely to live until they're 100 years of age. If that's true, you've only just begun, and there's so much ahead of you. As you move forward, I hope you will find, as I have found, that these years at St. Ben's have offered you the wealth of knowledge and experience to draw from in life's many challenges. God bless you in your endeavors, and congratulations.
Thank you, Sharon. And now, Sister Cecilia Prokash will conclude our ceremony with a blessing.
God of the universe and of all blessing, we are filled with gratitude for the numerous gifts, the countless blessings that come to us from you. On this day and on this occasion, we are grateful for the women who have received the reward for their personal and academic achievements here at the College of St. Benedict. They have persevered in their efforts and have readied themselves for their future mission in this world. May they witness, wherever they may be, to the Christian and Benedictine values which characterize this institution of higher learning. Bless them, bless their families, and all those they love. Bless also all those who have served them and encouraged them during their years here, both at the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. Bless us all, each and every one gathered here today, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you.